What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to share a story with you on how I got released on a album that Major Lazer put out called Give Me Future. It was a documentary that was filmed on one of their concerts that they did in Cuba, and with that they released a multi-track album with the documentary. So I'm going to show you the production behind the track that we put out with them and the overall process of what it took to get released and how it got released. There's kind of some things in there that I want to share with you, and hopefully it can maybe help you out, or it can at least give you a general idea of what it takes. I don't want to say what it takes, but I'll give you a general idea on what it entails to release with somebody of that magnitude, or somebody that's big like Major Lazer. So I'm gonna hop over to my desktop and just show you a couple things as I go along with telling you the story. Alright, so this all started back in December of 2016. Friend and I, who goes by the name of Silva, wanted to kind of come up with, at the time, the style that was getting real big was like Mombatan or twerk mixed with like a Latin influence. And we just thought, hey, come up with something and see what we can do with it. So of course, as I go through the production of a new track, I'll search for samples, or I'll look through other projects that I may have done in the past. So this is kind of what I did. So I went through and the first sample that we found was this one right here. So that's the main trumpet that we used, or main horn that we use for the whole entire track, and that's kind of what pieced it all together. But before I even get to that, so we found the sample, cut it up, and ultimately made the entire instrumental. So with that, we kind of had something like this, right? So I'm not gonna play the whole song because I don't want it to get copyrighted or anything. So once we finished the entire track, or what we had originally was like a twerk style / Mombatan, just original, right? So my friend knew Walshy Fire from previous connections. I had never met him before, but they had previous interactions, whether it be doing remixes for him and stuff like that. So he knew him, and he had him like on WhatsApp, right? So he sent him the beat. And a little bit later he comes back and he says, well, I think y'all should actually do a reggaeton, like a full reggaeton instrumental. I had never done one before, but Silva had. So he had a bunch of samples and reggaeton style claps and drum beats and stuff like that. So we decided, all right, we'll lay out the whole reggaeton style with what we have. So we did that and we sent it back to him. He said, okay, cool, I like it. I'll see who I can find to put some vocals on it, and we'll see what we can come up with. So about a month goes by, and we get an email back from him with a guy named DJ Blast who did the vocals on this track. And if I can just play a little snip. So that was his vocals, and he did it just as a bass line. If you're not familiar with like how lyric writers do their work, is they'll sometimes sing on top of tracks, and just to get a bass line of how they want it to sound. So that's what he did. And what's crazy about this is he was actually the one who ultimately got released on the track for his vocals. So, but it wasn't intended that way to begin with. So we pitched it out to, or Walshy Fire decided to pitch it out to other artists and see who we can get on the vocals. And this went on for months, right? So months go by and I kind of forgot about the track, and Silva comes back and he says, hey, why don't we just take the original vocals and the original instrumental, put it together, and see what we can come up with. So ultimately, by around June of the next year, so this is about 6 months have gone by, we came up with the final version, or the original final version, with the vocals for DJ Blast, right? and we told Walsh, we were like, hey, you know, we think that we should just put this out this way, and you know, just see what happens, right? You know, he said, you know, I'm still trying to find a good vocalist. I think we can find somebody big. It's like, okay, you know, I'm at this point, like, I don't expect anything of it. You know, the song was a couple months old, right? So I think in the beginning of November to mid-November, we finally get an email from Wall Street Fire saying that, hey, we decided to sign the track, or hey, we decided to sign the track with Mad Decent. So Mad Decent is Diplo's label. So of course I know this instantly and I'm pretty excited, but of course seeing is believing. So I was like, okay, you know, that's cool. Like, I don't know how it's gonna go. I didn't have artwork. I didn't know when, and I just heard that it was gonna come out, right? So the next day rolls around, right? And all of a sudden, it's on YouTube. Okay. November 17th, 2017, it drops on YouTube. And we start putting it out everywhere. We're just like, hey, you know, we got released, and Major Lazer released it, and it was awesome. So it got released on YouTube, got released on SoundCloud. It was on iTunes, you know, it was everywhere, and it was surprising because I didn't realize it was. So I wasn't told any of this. I wasn't told it was going to be part of an album. I didn't told it was going to be released by Major Lazer. I wasn't told any of that. So this was all a surprise. It was crazy. You know, just overnight how this just got worked. So anyways, that gets released. One of the things that I wish we could have done with this was go back and redo some of the things, like redo his vocals, redo the chops. I mean, if you listen to it now, it's kind of not finished in terms of the sound quality and what I would like to have done with it. I say that to point out that sound is not always going to get you that release. And what I mean by that is, don't try to perfect your sound so much to where you're getting caught not putting stuff out. You know, we put this out, we did the layout in about a day. I'm pretty sure he wrote the vocals and put it out within a week. So overall processing time for this track took about 2 weeks, maybe. And it took a year for it to get released. A little less than a year, but it took about a year to get released. So it was kind of crazy how that worked out, and I think it was well received. It, you know, obviously it has about 277,000 plays there. On Spotify, it's got about 1.8 million plays, so I think that's pretty good. And what's awesome about this one is, if you scroll down here at the bottom, the socials, they put my social on here, or you know, my social handle for Facebook, which was pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty much all this story goes. I mean, again, it wasn't too much into it. It was just a long process, you know, because of who they are and what it entailed. I'm sure their documentary filming and all that took months and months and months. I mean, of course, I would have liked to have known that it was going to be on that, so we weren't waiting so long. But at the same time, you know, I really appreciated it. So yeah, hopefully this kind of gives you an idea of what that's like. And I know it probably didn't help you out much, because of course it's, you know, somebody that I knew through a friend that knew Wall Street Fire. So, you know, we already had that connection. So it's a little bit different than just going to somebody cold. But I just want to give you my take on it. And again, this project is free to download. I did like a Moomba version after we released it, just to kind of give it a like club style feel. And Wall Street Fires played it out and stuff like that, so they really liked this version. It has the instrumental stuff, and it has the vocals, and it has the horn sound, so you can go around play around with it. I'll link it down below, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. But again, if you have any questions on you know, anything I might have not talked about or anything you just have questions on, I'll do my best to answer it. Hopefully it's nothing of like how you can get in contact with Major Lazer. I mean, I do have Diplo's personal emails and Major Lazer's emails, stuff like that, but of course, you know, I can't disclose that, which I'm sure you could probably find it by googling it anyway. But yeah, so any questions, just let me know, and I appreciate the support. Yeah, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time I get another video up, and I'm going to do my best to get some more tutorials and anything you want me to talk about as I go through this process. So thanks guys, much love.